Welcome to the second episode of the Ultimate Football Podcast. In this episode, we're pretty much just going to talk about Manchester United and Arsenal, our expectations for the season. United are doing all right so far. Arsenal still have yet to sign really many players. Neither have United really. They've only signed about 2 players. So if there's a rant or two in here, it's probably because one of us is pissed off about a certain thing. Yeah, it's Depression FC actually.
Yeah, it is Depression FC. Yeah,
that's what we call our clubs. So first,
and national teams.
Yes, and national teams. The first thing we want to do is because I put out a tweet on Twitter like a couple days ago, and it got 15 to 20 questions. So we're gonna go through some of your questions. Connor, do you have them on your phone right now?
I've got them up.
All right, you can start off on the first question.
Eddie's?
Yeah, you can start that. That's fine.
All right, that's the first one that pops up for me. So Mr. Mexi Muscles says, if you were GM of either team, what's the first 3 things you would do? And then he kind of goes on to the United side of things. So would you sell Pogba? If so, where would you invest the money you got from selling him? Where did we fail after Fergie? So that's your question. I'll kind of hop in whenever.
All right, so I don't think we should sell Pogba, because I've always said this, that the last time United signed or sold a big player was Cristiano Ronaldo, and they didn't really replace him at all. They replaced him with no, it wasn't even
technically. I know it was Oberton. Right?
Oberton, Michael Owen on a free, and Antonio Valencia from Wigan. Yeah. So that was the last time we sold, a world-class player of that talent. I would not sell Pogba. I think Pogba is the person you kind of build your team around. He's not the kind of guy that, will carry you on his back, I don't think. He did for a certain amount of time in the season last year, but I don't think he could do it over a full season. He needs help around him. So I think if you build around him, it's better. It's not like United need the funds yet anyway, because they already have. They make about £500 million in revenue every single year. They don't need the money. They can very easily go out and spend money and, do good in other areas. But the big problem at United, and where did we fail under Fergie? And I'll let Conrad do it. Where did you fail during Wenger, I guess? Because
Wenger,
yeah, because after about 2006, Arsenal started to become a top 4 and a FA Cup team. Fergie, the problem with Fergie is that we let him choose the next manager, and it kind of fucked us because Moyes was not a good manager. He wasn't ready for the job. His biggest job was Everton. Then we started signing. Then we thought we can outspend other teams, and we started signing players in poor positions. And that's why you see, obviously, Ashley Young, who's a left wing normally. We play him at right back. We've played him a striker before. We've played him a left back. We had Valencia, who was a right wing. We played him at right back. All these players that we get, we always play them at a position. And that's because we can't seem to find a way to buy players for certain positions that can hold for a long period of time, for 5 to 7 years. We never really replaced a lot of the old players that we had during that last title-winning season. Some signings have failed, and that's on the scouting. Obviously, the managers haven't helped either. I mean, I'm in the majority. No, I might be in the minority here by saying every manager that United has had since Fergie they've deserved to be sacked because of the decisions they've made in game, the tactics they've done. They've been outclassed by other managers, by smaller teams. That's where I think we've gone wrong since Fergie. I would let Conrad talk about what about him with Wenger. Go for it.
Yeah, so obviously we went invincible in 2004, and then went to won the FA Cup 2005, went to the Champions League final 2006, and that's when everyone thought it was gonna, keep going up and up. We went to a new stadium going into 2007, and that put us in a lot of debt. Spurs are gonna get shit on with that. I wouldn't, I don't know how the fuck they signed Ndombele, and now they're paying 62 mil for Lo Celso. They're crazy in debt right now, so that just makes me think that someone's probably going to leave them. Doesn't matter. Stadiums are rough.
They'll catch up.
Yeah. stadiums are rough when you move into a new one. So obviously we didn't have any money to spend, which was understandable. So none of the fans were really complaining at the time. And plus we were still kind of competing. I mean, 2008 we almost won the league, and still top four Champions League was good enough. And it was kind of it was like jabbing at the debt because Champions League at least was good money. And we went to the semis in what 2009 as well, or 2008, 2009.
2009,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so it was like we were doing well still, and it just went downhill when Kroenke bought the team. Pretty much, I believe it was Dick Law that introduced him to Arsenal, and ever since then he just fucked. He fucked us. We stopped. Martin literally tagged me in a picture today, and it said it was the how much percentage does the owner put into each club, and how much percentages does how much percent does each club use as from their like earnings, and Arsenal's the only team with 0% owner funding and 100% use of earnings. So that's not a good look, especially because we're still competing for top four even with that disaster. So, but I guess you want to blame it all on Wenger, and it's easy to do that because he was washed, but in the end, it was just a mix of everyone. And then Gazidis came in, said that in a couple years we'd be competing with the likes of Bayern and fucking Barcelona and Catalyst for Change, and he's a whole load of horse shit. Now, you know what? Gazidis is just a fucking moron. I saw today Milan, he's obviously the CEO for Milan now or whatever, the fucking director for Milan, and they just bid 56 mil for Angel Correa from Atleti.
That's their
he
biggest
sucks,
signing.
So I don't understand.
Signing.
How the fuck are you paying 50? They're $500 million in debt already.
Yeah,
where the fuck is that 56 million coming from? So there you go. And so when we were in debt, why couldn't we fucking pay that money for fucking players? So I don't understand that shit. Doesn't matter. Wenger started getting it wrong. He should have left after 2014 when we won the FA Cup against Hull, or 2013, and life would have been good. It was 2014. Life would have been good, and his tactics were outdated. His training methods became outdated, which all the former players said. He might have had the reach in France, but even with that reach in France, if Mbappe was playing, in the 90s, and Pogba and Kante and all those guys, then we would have been paying for them like we did with Henry and Vieira and Petit and all those, Anelka. But, we lost our mojo, so to say. His tactics obviously were horrendous. He was too scared to change. And then when we finally forced him to change to the 3-back, it was still shit. It still wasn't what we needed. Yeah, so, players were getting tired at the end of the season, which is what people were complimenting Emery about last year. Beginning of preseason, at the beginning of the year, we looked sharp as shit until about March, which obviously I don't think anyone can look sharp in March unless you're Liverpool or City, because even them, like you can see they were winding down. I mean, look at Liverpool towards the end. They won the Champions League, but fuck me, it was getting dodgy. They were winning games 1-0, 3-2.
Yeah, they weren't blown by
teams.
So
it gets tough, man, when you're not good, when you don't have the depth like them. And even Liverpool don't have the greatest depth. Like City struggle. I mean, when you don't have that depth, you just going through that Christmas period is going to be rough, especially when the FA, because it's all the money, all the people are home for vacation, so everyone's going to watch the games. So the FA has to put all the top six against each other, except Liverpool and City, by the way, because for some reason they get the easiest schedules. Spurs as well, but they don't get a pass from me either. They have an easy
United,
schedule.
Arsenal, and
Chelsea.
Get
Arsenal, Chelsea, fucking on 28th of December. 3 days later, we're going to Old Trafford or whatever, home to United. Yeah. One of the games is away, one of the games is home. Like, that's fucking ridiculous.
It's the away game for us. So we're
same thing happened. Yeah, same thing happened last year. We had fucking Liverpool on the 1st of January after going to Brighton away, and we were away to Liverpool as well. So I don't understand where the fuck did that shit come from? Because we just played Liverpool in October, so should we be playing them in like March?
Mm-hmm. I want to show you a tweet, right?
Yeah.
This Arsenal fan, I don't know, he never really answered a question of mine. He kind of stated something. So he said for Arsenal, he said it started in 2006, the switch to the Emirates. That's where it started. Stan Kroenke, Gazidis, embarrassing UCL performances, the fan base, the lack of fans going to games, Wenger in or Wenger out, fans fighting.
You know what? I want to go to that lack of fans going to games. That's not necessarily Arsenal's fans' fault because we have a lot, obviously, especially in London.
Yeah.
We probably dominate London.
Yeah.
The problem is that when Kroenke came in and we left Highbury, ticket prices were fucking crazy expensive. I mean, one ticket for one game is as much as Bayern pay for their fucking season ticket.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's crazy.
Kroenke upped that shit. So it was more for like celebrities and people coming to sit and watch the game. Oh, I get to come see Luis Suarez and Messi and Neymar play at the Emirates. So instead of having an atmosphere, we have a bunch of just people that are just sitting there doing absolutely no chanting, nothing along those lines, which pisses me off. Yeah. So it's literally a tourist stadium, you know. Highbury was not a tour. Highbury was atmosphere, you know. Every section of each part of Highbury, like the clock and all that shit, it was, you know, chanting, fucking crazy fans, ultras, all that shit. You know, you can't really call them ultras in England because you're not allowed to be an ultra in England, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And obviously embarrassing Champions League performances, but how were we performing better in the Champions League with Baptista and fucking Shamak and Bentner than we were when we got Ozil and, you know, Lacazette? That's not Lacazette because he hasn't played in the Champions League for us, but yeah, Sanchez and fucking Van Persie and all those guys towards the end of their careers. Fabregas, Nasri. Yeah, Podolski, Cazorla. I don't understand why was it... We went to the semis with, you know... That team wasn't that fucking good. Fabregas was our best player at the time. And then he fucking left. He fucked off. He went to the Grand Prix on the final day of the season and fucked off to Barcelona because they're a disrespectful club. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck Barcelona.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck their fan base. I love Messi, but I hate fucking Barcelona and their fans. Because none of them are Barcelona fans. They're just Messi fanboys.
Exactly. They're all gonna die once Messi retires. And and I hate it because for them, they don't realize how bad of a situation we're in. So it's for them, it's like trouble.
They think they
bust.
suffer. They think they suffer because they fucking made a Champions League semifinal and fucked it. Whatever, dude. I would easily take that season fucking up a 3-0 lead against Liverpool in the Champions League semifinal for a league title.
Exactly.
Easily.
100%.
I would have taken a 4-1 loss to Chelsea in that Europa League final for a league title.
Yeah.
Fuck them,
100%.
Dude. So fuck them and fuck their... I guess they have this attitude where they deserve everything and they expect trebles every single season. Fuck them.
It's crazy how they think treble or buzz. That's just
that's ridiculous.
That's not a mentality,
honestly,
man. I just don't get that. Something I wanted to mention as well with United, yes, I did say that we tried to outspend teams. But also, especially in the last couple windows, United have actually not spent at all. The highlight of our summer last year was buying Fred for $50 million, a guy from Shakhtar Donetsk when he was 25. And then we signed an 18-year-old in Diego Dallo, and then Lee Grant because that was such a priority of signing that we had to do. This summer, we've paid $15 million for a championship winger because he scored 2 goals against Manchester City. And then we signed probably the best right back or one of the best right backs in the Premier League right now. So I'm okay with that signing. That Bissaka signing is going to be one of the best ones we've had post Fergie.
I'd say so probably as well.
Another big problem with United, and this is my opinion, they always go for stars and it just drags out their whole summer. So while they're turning all their attention to one star, think of the better big stars.
The problem is the stars don't want to come.
Exactly. They either use United for a contract or they use United to kind of up an offer from another team because they want to really go for them. Because if you look at De Ligt, right, he was getting linked to United, and there was a lot of people saying oh, he'll come.
Hell no.
No, the race was always Barca, and Juve came in late, but there was PSG as well. And he still didn't go to PSG because who the fuck wants to play in France when the league is a farmers' league? No, the league is not good enough. So he went to Italy. And Serie A is gonna be really good next year. They have a lot of talent. Another thing I would say is look at the amount of poor signings United have had. A lot of the star names too. Di Maria flop, Memphis flop, Falcao flop. The list Pogba hasn't really fulfilled what he's been asked to do. And I don't put all the blame on him. I put most of the blame on the board and the Glazers because The board is the ones that they make the final decision at United. It's not the it's not the code. It's never the manager. So like that's something like Mourinho really got pissed off with. It was because he had the same problem with Abramovich at Chelsea, was that Abramovich did all the transfer work, and he kind of just sat there just waiting for his players to come in. If you look at the first summer for every manager we've had, they've always spent big in that first summer. But then once another big problem here is that we spend when we're in the Europa League and we're trying to go for top 4, but we don't spend when we get second in a season and we're trying to push for a title. You know what their answer for 20 points behind City was last year? Was Dalot, Grant, and Fred. You really think that was really gonna put us on the same wavelength as City or even Liverpool, who were showing signs towards the end of last season that they were gonna be good?
They signed Fabinho in fucking May.
Exactly, and Fabinho was somebody that United just fall asleep sometimes when they want a player. Fabinho was like in the media saying, "I want to go to United. I want to go to United," and they never get that player, and that's because fucking other teams. It's gonna happen to Pepe. It's gonna happen to Bruno Fernandes. Fucking Liverpool's gonna tap them up, I guarantee, and they're gonna lose 2 of those signings. You need at least one of them. You need a number 10 because in this formation that Solskjaer wants to play, he wants to play with Pogba and Matic as the 2 defensive mid, or the 2 players that come back a little bit. Pogba goes obviously a little bit forward, but if your front 3 is if you get 2 of these signings, right? How good is this front 4? Rashford on the left, Martial in the middle, who's been playing there the whole preseason. Pepe on the right, and then Bruno Fernandes right under. That's one of the best in the front 4s in the Premier League. And obviously they're going to try to get Harry Maguire in like a couple days, which the fee for that, I don't even want to talk about it because that is such an enormous amount of money to pay for a center back. You're paying more, and that's what happened with Van Dijk, is that everyone wants to get the world-class center back.
Yeah, they watch Liverpool do that with Van Dijk, and they think everyone that's worth 80 mil is going to be Van Dijk 2.0.
Exactly.
When realistically, you should be going for someone who, is probably 20 mil and has the potential. It's like a 21-year-old that has potential, to be a star.
I would have taken Alderweireld for 25, play with Lindelof for like a year or 2, show him what he's got to do, and then we have a guy named Axel Tuanzebe who has shown really good signs in the preseason so far to be like a really good center back. He's bigger. He's kind of filling out a little bit more. I think he's like 22 now. He's got a lot of potential on the ball as well. So I would have taken that for a year or 2 until Tuanzebe got ready. Maybe he would come from the bench for a couple of years. But I think it's going to be Maguire and Lindelof where, don't worry about the fee because that makes us one of the worst back 4s in the league to probably one of the best because we have Bissaka. We went from Luke Shaw being our player of the year to now Luke Shaw is probably our weak link in the back line if we were to sign Maguire and Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof as well. So the back 4 is definitely going to be solid. De Gea looks like he's going to be signing a new contract. He's going to be making over $100 million over like 5 years, something like that, which I'm okay with because that little short spell at the end of last season, that's not going to take over what he's done for the last 6 years. I'm not going to do that to him. He deserves to get paid. And then let's go to another question because that kind of like went on to a long time. How long will it be before Man United and Arsenal win the Premier League, and what will it take to reach that?
How long? 25 years.
I wouldn't go 25 because Pep Guardiola is probably going to leave at some point.
But City is still crazy and have crazy depth, and so do Liverpool, and they're set. They're set with the amount of money they have in assets.
Someone needs to sabotage both of their clubs.
Yeah, so they're both set. Even if they sabotage, they're going to be spending $150 million on a player from them, and they're going to just re-spend that money. It's impossible to catch them at this point. I'm sorry, it's just the fucking plain truth. I'm sorry. It's the hard truth.
For
They are levels better. They are in a level 1, and every other top 6 side is in a level like 7, 8. It hurts, especially now that Liverpool won the Champions League. That's going to be even more attractive.
Yeah,
that hurts even more. If City had gone to the final as well against and beating Spurs and then beating Ajax, it would have been a disaster for England because it's over. No one can compete. I mean, look at how far they got away. I mean, Spurs ended up competing for a little bit. They were like 1 point off the fucking lead at one point.
And then it was 10
maybe
points
3 points
2 weeks later.
Yeah, so they just don't. No one has I think it was in March or something along those lines, and I saw the tweet ESPN FC put out, and it had the remaining schedules for both Liverpool and City, and I said neither team is dropping points for the rest of the league title for the rest of the league season. The only drop points out of those, I think it was 26 games combined, was Everton 0-0 for Liverpool, and that lost them the league. Every other game they won. It's impossible. No one can do that. Literally, not a single other Prem team can do that.
Think about Man City last year. They followed a 100-point season with 99, and Liverpool lost one game, and that's what decided their title. If you lose one game out of 38, think about how perfect they almost went invincible.
Yep.
They literally almost went invincible, and they probably, if they drew that game, I don't know, with the goal differential, I think City still would have had them. But they could have lost a league title and be invincible. Think about that. Arsenal, they're known as the Invincibles. But think about it.
No, they would have won the league because they would have gotten up 1 and City would have gone down 2 points.
Oh, that's right. They played. Yeah, City was their only loss. That's right. That's crazy.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. That's still insane. They had 2 of the greatest Premier League seasons of all time. City have the best triple fucking or double Premier League seasons in a row, whatever. I don't even fucking know. It's just insane to watch.
In 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's insane to watch. It really is.
It's I can't even get mad at them. I can't even get mad at them anymore.
You can't even hate them because you're never going to catch them.
Exactly.
It's impossible. You just have to accept the fact that you're shit compared to them.
This must have been how Liverpool and City fans were thinking 10, 15 years ago with United.
Yeah.
We're never gonna catch them. This is
and
ridiculous how many points they're racking up each season.
You know what? What I think it was on an interview with Howson that I saw a clip on Twitter of. The Liverpool fan was telling him in the 90s when Liverpool went after the second Liverpool went on their drought, they won the league in 1990. And if you had told the fans you're not winning the league for the next 29 years, they would have laughed in your face. They were the best team in England. And it all went downhill. It changes in the blink of an eye. But they've been through it, and they're telling United fans, especially United fans, because obviously you guys had, 13 league titles and all that shit under
13
Fergie.
in 25 years.
Yeah, so they're literally telling United fans, we've been through it. We know what's about to happen. You guys are not competing, unfortunately, anymore. It's not going to happen. And I just think that they're right. And I think that not just you guys, Arsenal's not going to compete for the title in a while. Spurs are never going to compete for a title anymore.
It's already been 12 years for Arsenal too. That's Chelsea, the thing. It's only been 6 for United, but it's been 12.
But listen,
it's been more than that. 14
and it's gonna hit 12 for you guys. No one is winning. I'm telling you right now, Chelsea is I'm sorry because they have a transfer ban, so obviously not this season. But if Abramovich stays, because obviously he has his problems with his visa, I think. I don't know what's going on with him. If he stays, he's just going to keep pumping money into the club. They're the only chance we have of dethroning Liverpool and City. Other than that,
Spurs aren't great.
Other than that, Liverpool and City have to get worse. Not obviously not stay the same or get better. That's the only hope. Is they get worse while we slightly get better, which is so sad if you think about it. That's like La Liga levels and Liga levels where every team is like, well, I hope PSG and Real Madrid and fucking Barcelona.
It's literally like Real Madrid and Barcelona. I hope they get worse right now because it's a 2-team race every single year for the next 5 years.
Yeah, except Atleti are making insane signings this year, but we won't talk about that.
Atleti's been closer to the title than Madrid has, really the last 15 years.
And they just got 56 mil for Correa, so they're going to spend that money as well. They got James yesterday, most likely. I think that's practically all but confirmed. Mm-hmm. Trippier, who people are saying is going to do really well in Spain under Simeone. They sold Rodri for 70 mil. They're just reinvesting,
and they have
which is something we don't do.
They still have Koke. They still have they have Morata as their striker. They actually
Diego Costa is not fucking bad. He's a beast.
And they just got João Felix as well.
Look at that policy that they're instilling. This is my problem. I wouldn't mind if we were top 4, if Arsenal was competing top 4, but we were constantly getting better because we have assets that we can sell for a lot if they want to leave and reinvest those assets. But here's the problem.
one, if we were to sell those assets for good money, we wouldn't reinvest them. And two, we don't sell the assets for good money. I mean, Van Persie left for 20 mil, Nasri left for fucking pennies, Fabregas left for pennies, Henry left for pennies. All these guys, Cazorla left on a free. We let Ramsey go on a free. Ozil, we gave him a new contract instead of selling him. Sanchez was going for 60 mil, and in 6 months, we fucked it so bad that he ended up going on a free, and we just got Mkhitaryan in return. You know what I'm saying? Gabriel for 8 mil? Are you fucking serious, dude? People are selling center backs for 25 mil that are worse than Gabriel. Mm-hmm. So we could have at least got 30 mil for him. I don't 8 mil. Szczesny, he's the starting keeper for Juve now, the starting keeper for Poland. He's probably the best keeper in Italy right now. Sold him for fucking 10 mil. Are you serious? I don't understand who is making these decisions at Arsenal, because the way we sell is just horrendous. Because then if we at least listen. I wouldn't get mad so mad at Kroenke if we used the money off of good players that we, like, let's say we sold Ramsey before his contract ran down for 50, 60, 70 mil, which is what Juve probably would have paid for him because they cheat, whatever, doesn't matter, it's beside the point. We would have at least been able to reinvest into a center midfielder. Like, how much is Bruno Fernandes going for? You know, we could have negotiated that. Pepe for fucking, you know, they want 40 mil for him or 45 mil. There's the money right there. Just a straight swap. So I don't understand who is running this. Then we, instead of selling Ozil or at least giving him a contract not worth $350K a week after his diabolical season, we fucking give him $350K a week. When did he deserve that? He deserved that right after the Leicester season when he had 18, 19 assists in the year and he was a beast with Giroud up front, you know? Mm-hmm. So I don't get how our assets just fuck off. You know, we almost sold Torreira for 30 fucking mil this year. We just bought him for 25. At least make a fucking double your profit. He's 21. Fucking Bellerin almost left for Barcelona 30 mil. Are you serious? You guys just signed Bissaka for 55. I don't understand this shit. Now, we have this whole Koscielny incident where it's obviously escalated from that last podcast we had where he wants to leave on a free, but we obviously need money. So we want money for him. But Bordeaux don't want to pay money for him, and neither do Stade Rennes. So now, instead of getting 10 mil for him, he's forcing himself out on a free, which apparently we're going to take him to court because he's breaching his contract. So fuck him. Fuck Koscielny. I'm telling you, man, I will fucking strangle that man if I ever see him ever again. The disrespect as an Arsenal case, the number one captain on his fucking team because Czech left, the number one captain on his team, and he's doing that. To the club that fucking made him. We bought him from League 2. He was shit. He was shit for so many years. He made so many fucking mistakes for us.
Look at the way, like,
and he does that.
Look at the way Hazard left, like, and look at the way Koscielny's leaving. Like, just total.
It's crazy.
Total opposites. Same
thing with fucking Nasri and Adebayor. And actually, I heard a story because I was listening to the DT and Robbie's podcast where Robbie got good information from a close source that Adebayor didn't want to go to City. Mm-hmm. So
you pushed him out the door.
We pushed him out the door for 20 mil or something like that to City. He was our top striker at the moment. This is what I don't get. Now, if they don't want to leave, why sell him? If we need the money so bad, can we get a little bit more? Well, I feel like teams throw in low ball at Arsenal and we just accept it. And then we throw low ball at them and they're like, dude, what are you doing? Are you retarded?
What was your reaction to Adebayor scoring against you at the Etihad?
I said a lot of words I wouldn't be able to repeat because this channel would get shut down immediately. But
like, what was like your instant reaction? Like,
oh my god, I honestly was I don't get mad at shit. Like, I wasn't mad at like punching walls and shit. But that was the most infuriating, one of the most infuriating moments of my life. It's not the fact that he scored, the celebration that pissed me off.
Like most,
so it pissed me off when Fabregas went to the Grand Prix on the last day of the fucking season. This Koscielny shit is pissing me off. Everything is pissing me off. I wouldn't be surprised if we fucking sold Rob Holding for 6 mil, even though he's our best defender. Just because he's injured for the fucking next month. He's gonna be back in September. Same thing with Bellerin, which, by the way, I want to go back to the injuries. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going off here. I just want to bring this point up real quick. Under Wenger, our injuries were horrific because our doctors were momos. Unai brought in new doctors, new physios, new therapists, all that shit. And they might have got hurt. We didn't have many injuries at all until the Bellerin and the Holding one, which kind of fucked us. Holding is 3 months ahead of schedule. Bellerin is 4 months ahead of schedule.
I don't get how that's possible. Like,
That just happens when you have good physios. Yeah. And I thought it was all a scam when City always ended up doing that somehow. They just have top physios.
Yeah.
Like you know what? Everything was archaic at Arsenal for so fucking long. This is like the start of a revolution, which it may piss me off still. And last season pissed me off to a degree that, it's been different because I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't say I was more invested, but during the Wenger years, it was
slowly
expected and it was just depressing every week. At least this year I had more optimism than ever before. I always have optimism going in, but I always had more realism under the last Wenger reign.
Let me ask you a question.
Like thinking,
remember how you were so upbeat during the 22 game unbeaten run? Did you see any signs of them pretty much capitulating to like how Arsenal has been? But in that 22 game stretch.
No, I didn't expect this to capitulate, and you know why? Because I should have, because we had no depth.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's our one problem. And you know what? Towards the end, you could see it. The depth was starting to struggle because that was going into the Christmas period. This game against Southampton we lost was I think on the 18th of December or something along those lines. So it was going into the Christmas period, which is a rough one. We thought everyone at Arsenal said, let's get these 4 games or 3 games done before Liverpool away and then go into Liverpool away with confidence, at least confidence, right? And then take that from there. If we lose, it's okay. 1 loss isn't so bad. We lost to Southampton. All that shit went downhill. And then it was like Bournemouth at home away in November was like our only win away from home for like 2 months. So
yeah.
But then we beat Chelsea in February or January, whenever. So I don't... Home, away, like can we improve? Can we at least be consistent away? I'm not expecting to win every fucking game. I'm not expecting to win every game, but can we at least win the away games like Brighton, Southampton, Cardiff, all those fucking shitty teams? Yeah, can we beat the shitty teams? Wolves away? Dude, don't give me... That's a tough game. Even Newcastle away?
Yeah, it's a tough game.
We scraped that one last year. Tough game. But these teams are fucking shit. They're so fucking bad. Just 2-0. That's all I ask. 1-0 even. Don't concede a goal. That's confidence for the defenders.
Yeah.
Instead, our preseason, which has been very good, to say the least. We always have a good preseason, but the way we've played just seems sharp. It's only preseason. I'm not getting ahead of myself, but the one thing in preseason that has not changed is Mustafi is still making childish mistakes, bro. I don't understand what goes through this guy's head. And against Fiorentina the other day, he got the ball from I think Martinez. It was Martinez in the first half. Got the ball from Martinez. Oh, was it Leno? It doesn't fucking matter. One of the fucking keepers that we were playing. Got the ball. It was the second half. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when the fuck it was. I don't know I'm fucking tired.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the ball at the left side of the 18 on the corner,
Yeah.
Looks up. He can make the pass down to the left back or hoof it, I get we're playing out of the back, but when you have 3 Fiorentina players bearing down on you, either make the fucking pass or hoof it. You're not going back to the keeper because he's marked. You're not going across the box because they treat you that in fucking second grade. So just hoof it. Sometimes it's okay to be safe. We're not City. We're not playing out of the back when 8 people are pressing us because we're shit. But Mustafi gets the ball, turns back to look at Martinez or Leno, and just dribbles to the fucking goal line. He dribbles to the goal line, dribbles. There's 3 players collapsing on him. One is behind him, one's coming to the side, the other one is watching the keeper, and he just hoofs it across the box and just punts it away for a fucking throw-in. And I mean across the goal, not the other way.
Yeah.
Because he was on the left side, so he was turning to his right and just hoofs it across with his right. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what are you doing? And then against Bayern, I think it was Thiago who slipped the ball in, and Mustafi trips on nothing, on air. He tries to stick his back leg out to intercept the pass.
How did he win a World Cup?
What are you doing?
How did he win a World Cup?
And I'm pretty sure he played right back or left back, for some games. Howard has played left back. He was at center back sometimes. He played. I will say he definitely played in that World Cup.
Yeah, no, he definitely played. Lam definitely played right back, so I don't think.
Yeah, Lam, whatever. But I know how it is. Him and fucking. And he played center back at sometimes. Yeah.
Boateng, Hummels, Howardis, and Mustafi. Yeah, with
it was a disaster. I will say, but I think both of us have had pretty good preseason so far. I'm really impressed with the youngsters. I'm impressed with the youngsters,
bro. So am I. This is why we were planning on doing this podcast a week ago. And at that time, I probably would have been a little bit more on edge. But like I
Same,
have a
because
sense
we
of
hadn't played Bayern yet.
Yeah, I have like a sense of like positivity in me right now. Like I made a tweet a couple days ago. I'm really excited for the new season because I can't wait for Chong, Greenwood, Gomes, Tuanzebe, like all these young players. Garner, they're all playing really well, and I like it. Greenwood is going to be a good player, man. I know he's only been playing in like preseason stuff, but like I've known about this kid for like 2 years. Like he's been playing in like the U19s and like the U21s, whatever. And he's been scoring, like he's always been a consistent goal a game player. And there was also, I think 3 years ago, Housen, because he's really big into the academy, and I watch a lot of Full-Time Devils, and he said Rashford's not even the best one that's going to be coming out of the academy in a couple years. He said Greenwood's going to be like the best one when he was like 16 or 17, which is crazy. Like this kid, like he's good on both feet. Like he doesn't have an actual weak foot, which is crazy. He needs to improve. I think his final, I won't even say like, because he's a striker. He's got really good instincts, and like he can use both feet, so that's not a problem. I don't even know which foot he prefers, to be honest, because I've seen him use both. I've seen him take on players, which is really good for a youngster. One player that's not being like talked about a lot is Angel Gomes, and that kid, he's like 17, and he was literally bossing the midfield in the 2 games that I saw him play. Like he was pulling the strings, he was doing really good work. He was winning the ball back, and he's like small too. Like he's like Javinko, like he's literally like 5'5", 5'6", I think. So I'm really excited with that. The results have been good. The play style has been good. It's been youthful, really entertaining to watch. Although one concern I need to preach is that when a team like Conte sits back like that, and that's going to be the majority of the teams in the Premier League that United and Arsenal come up against. 75% of the teams,
those shitty bottom fucking sides.
Fuck they're literally going to
Fuck
go
the way they play
10
football.
10 men behind the ball, 1 striker up top, hoof the ball forward.
It's the most cancerous football on the planet, dude.
And
you know what? These are the Prem fanboys really think that's the best league in the world when fucking La Liga teams go fucking full-fledged against the top sides.
fucking Bilbao got 14th 2 years ago because...
16th, dude. 16th.
Yeah, 16th.
They almost got, maybe even 17th, dude. They almost got relegated.
Yeah. No, they were like 5 points away from relegation, I think.
You know what? I was going to say I like this question from your thing. It says, both teams had to switch one player. Who would you give each team? Which I guess not give each team, but who would you take?
It would be like a swap deal, kind of like Mkhitaryan and Sanchez, kind of?
Nah. I say, if you were to take one player from Arsenal, who are you taking? If I was to take one player from United, who am I taking?
Who is the one player from Arsenal I'm taking?
Well, I would take Pogba because he's a good backup to Guendouzi.
You would take Pogba?
Did
you just say backup to who?
To Guendouzi.
Oh my god! Don't.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Wet, motherfucker.
I would take Martial personally.
Martial is so solid, so smooth.
Winger, we need a winger.
Yeah, you do.
I know you guys are playing him down the middle, but I take him on the wing.
He's been playing the last 3 years on the left anyway, so like.
Yeah, I take him on the wing. Absolutely.
That's interesting. I would probably take. I think Lacazette is really good at link-up play, and in Ollie's system, I think he loves a guy like that can hold up the ball and link up with the other attackers. Like Lukaku can't do that. That's why he's
can't do that
sold.
For shit. No.
That's why he's getting
Which is
sold.
weird. You'd expect him to be good up at hold-up play, but instead he's more, I guess, running. Like I wouldn't say running behind, but you'd expect him to bully defenders while everyone else gets in. He goes out on the wing
most times. He really switches with Rashford. Like
I'm not sure about his mentality. I think he just suited for systems like Everton.
Yeah.
And those guys. Which if he goes to Inter, we'll see how he does there. I don't know, man.
You know what it is? It's like at United, like when he was at Everton, right? Like teams that would like press them and like because they actually play football against a team like Everton because they're not as good as the top 6. So they push up a little bit more. He's really good.
Yeah. That's a good point.
He's really good, like on the break. And there's something also. He only had to deal with like one center back. A lot of the plays that you saw as Everton highlights, he had to only deal with like one person, so he can easily body off that guy because he's a big body.
Yeah, or shake him or whatever, and especially against the top 6 when you're playing against like Everton.
Yeah,
you just got your 2 center backs back. I mean, even the fullbacks push up, so I guess that's why he would drift out wide.
Yeah,
and he still has that habit. drift out wide because the fullbacks are pushed up. Let me get in space. Like, let's say Kolasinac or Monreal, they're usually getting up.
Yeah, so
he's going to sit in that pocket right there.
He's not used to 10 men behind the ball. Like, to break a team down like that, you have to be like Brighton to like still put 10 men behind the ball and still play a team like Everton. Like,
and even they barely put 10 men behind the ball against Everton. Yeah, actually, that's a lie. They do.
They do against every team.
Them, Burnley, these teams.
The
Cardiff,
anti-football
honestly,
teams,
fuck
bro.
you. Yeah, anti-football. Everyone down the drain, down to the championship, please.
I mean,
I don't know. Fuck. I can't believe Leeds didn't come up. Cunts, man.
I mean, here's the
thing.
It's been
such a fun team to watch.
Here's the thing, right? Like, I remember like you and Al used to complain about like how boring United were to watch. They're gonna be at least more fun to watch this year because like they actually go forward. They actually do attack. Like,
yeah, boring under Mourinho. Everyone is boring to watch under Mourinho.
Well, here's why Mourinho sat back, because he knew that he needed 2 defensive midfielders.
Yeah, the defense sucks.
The defense was awful. Yeah. What ended up happening was that when Ole wanted to play Ole ball, we conceded a lot of goals under Mourinho too in the first half of the season. But like the problem with Mourinho that towards the end, like, he got like a lot of stick from fans because they wanted to see attacking football. So when he did push up a little bit more, they got so prone defensively that teams were picking them apart. Like I one of the worst games, like depression first half, second half jubilation, was Newcastle at home. We literally would have been down 3-0 at halftime if they put their third chance away. We were terrible at home, and he would have gotten sacked after that game. If they lost 3-0 to Newcastle at home, I swear to you, he would have been out then, and we probably would have got top 4. Because Ole would have had more time, and there would have been more points to gain. But instead, they gave him another 2 months. We lost the games to City, Liverpool, drew at home to Southampton, Crystal Palace. Awful. One of the worst seasons I've ever watched, because Liverpool won the Champions League and City won the fucking title. Chelsea won the Europa League. Arsenal are still shit. Spurs, fuck them. Fuck Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs are just irrelevant. I'm sorry. Spurs are the most irrelevant top 6 club, and that's fact.
I miss the days of Liverpool fighting for 8th. I miss the days of City.
Honestly, I miss the days of United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Yes, that was the top
That's what
4.
I miss. Yep, that's the original top 4, man. Obviously, Chelsea came around a little bit later than the others, but
I want to say one thing.
That's what I miss.
Listen to me really clearly, everybody who watches this video. The top 3 teams in England, the 3 biggest clubs, is United, Arsenal, and Liverpool. There's no 3 teams that will overtake them unless in... And this was a question as well, actually. That's pretty good, like, leading up to it. They said, if Arsenal and Man United stay in their current state for the next 10, 20 years, what impact could it have on the club financially and the fan base? Well, I think if it's the next 10, 20 years and they don't have success, fans will definitely, like, see that. Like, there'll be less fans, obviously, but...
Yeah, that's the problem. It's the kids, man.
Yeah.
I think Lee Gunner mentioned it. He said it's a generation of kids who wants to watch Arsenal play, like, shit football like that.
Yeah.
Shit football and get 5th, you know? No one wants to watch that.
Like, every fan grew up, like... The 3 teams that every fan saw success from was... Well, actually, no, I wouldn't even say 3, because, like, this past generation, like, Madrid didn't win much, besides, obviously, the title in 2017 and a couple of Champions Leagues, but that was like the next generation coming through, because those are kids. The ones that are growing up that we're seeing playing football now, that are like 20, 21, 22, they're the 2 biggest teams in the world were Barcelona and Man United. Like, Arsenal obviously were there as well because they were invincible in 2004. But most of the kids,
like it's like the idolize. It's like, you know, everyone idolizes someone, which is why there's so many kind of plastic Barca fans out there, plastic Madrid fans, because they came from Messi, Ronaldo, and Ronaldo left, so half the Madrid fans they don't give a shit anymore.
Juve now.
Yeah, they're in Juve now. The Real Madrid fans are the ones that that's funny. Real Madrid fans. Oh, that was so stupid. Jesus, that was corny. The like true Madrid fans are the ones that, you know, you don't have to watch Di Stefano, but you at least got to know who the fuck he is, right? I'm not going to expect you to be alive in the 60s, but, you know, at least be able to tell he's one of the greatest players Madrid has ever seen. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you had like Henri, Vieira, you know, Tony Adams, those guys. You had fucking Yapstam and, you know, CR for United, Rooney and Van Nistelrooy. And, you know, growing up, man, that's how it was. And, you know, Liverpool kind of fell off, but even them, they had Gerrard and Xabi Alonso. You know, those guys won them in fucking Champions League in 2005.
Torres.
Yeah, Torres even, you know, just after that.
It's funny.
So it really fan base is kind of like, and I think that our generation
it's definitely
is more,
for sure.
is more of United and Arsenal, Liverpool, and even Chelsea fans. There's for the Drogba era, and then
Chelsea
obviously the Barcelona, the Real Madrid, mostly Prem, because especially in the States here, they used to play Italian and La Liga, which they still play La Liga. You got to pay for it, but Italian league used to be free to watch on Fox Soccer, and the Prem, every fucking game was on TV, and now they make you pay for 9 games a weekend when there's only like 3 on. So I feel like it is generational. The next one, and it hurts to say, but the next one is going to be more. Liverpool are going to keep growing.
Yeah.
City are going to boom from the kind of like 8 to 12-year-olds now.
Yeah.
I mean, who are they going to idolize? David Silva and Aguero, and everyone can make fun of City all they want for not having. Yeah, everyone can make fun of City all they want for not having fans anymore. If they keep going like this, they're going to be really big. In
it's crazy.
20 years, they're going to have it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be the same situation that United and Arsenal were in, and Madrid and Barca are going to stay the same because they're not going to really. I mean, I think Madrid will do better this year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Atletico are coming up.
Fun to watch this year. Hopefully, here's the thing: like the old Clásicos, I said this on the stream a couple of days ago, or last week. I said like Madrid, Barca, like that was peak in like 2010 to 2012 with Mourinho.
Yeah, I'd say so
because there were so many different big egos on each team. Like there's what's fun with watching like Barcelona win 5-0 and Madrid not even bat an eye.
Yeah,
like they didn't care
and it's Barcelona.
Year.
It's Barcelona playing possession at the back with Valverde, and fucking Zidane's crossing inshallah ball. Yeah, it's not fun, dude. It really isn't. And they still have the names, obviously, but it is decreased. That's why I said last year. I said last season the biggest game in all of Europe was City Liverpool.
It was, yeah.
That was the biggest game. Remember that game in January that City won?
Yeah.
How many of us watched that? Right? How many of us were going insane? Yeah. That was the biggest. Everyone watched that.
Exactly.
I was at the fucking eye doctor for the first half. I was watching it at the eye doctor. They had it on the TV.
I was. I think one of the biggest games of the year too was the Leicester Man City at home,
which was crazy as well. When Company banged that goal,
Because we've never
look at
had
that
a title
and look
race
at this.
like that. We've never had 2 teams literally go almost invincible to win a title. Like that was.
And now
crazy.
think about this. You have dads who are watching these games as United, Arsenal, Chelsea fans, Barcelona, Real Madrid fans watching these games because they're accessible. And you have kids that are 7, 8, 9 years old watching it with them, which is, or even 5. This is how I got into it. I got into it in the World Cup and all that shit leading up to it, FA Cup finals and all that. So you have these kids, and now they're going to say, holy shit, look at City, Company just banged this goal, or look at the way they play, and look at how crazy everyone's going, everyone's watching this. And they're going to, they're going to start supporting it. I remember the second I started, like, really loving Arsenal, obviously I supported them for, like, the year or 2 prior, but, it was, like, the year prior. The second I really started loving them was when Henry hit that 90th minute header against United at the Emirates, and I think it was late 06, beginning of 07. That was the second I knew from fucking deep down in my heart. I felt it because I celebrated that like it was no tomorrow, man. Which was like wow.
9.
I was like, holy shit. That was kind of, when you're 7 or 8, you have kind of less memories, but you're still watching the games, and you don't really know. You kind of know what's going on, but not at the same time as like not at the same feeling as. Man, you got to win this game to win the title, or win this game to get in 4th place, or whatever. That's the goal made me feel different, which is why obviously I love Arsenal so much now. Mm-hmm. It's that I can say it's definitely that goal, 2-1 at Boué's cross to fucking Henry and Boué, by the way, fucking asshole.
And there's something like a lot of people love watching City just because of the way they play. Like there's one thing you can. There's one thing you can like criticize them on is the way they play the game, because
they
don't
attacking football.
Back.
That's the way it should be.
They literally go like they don't even like waste time. They literally just like go all out. The only time I saw them waste time, actually I can't even say they wasted time because that time like they completed 37 passes before they scored on us at the Etihad, which was fucking ridiculous.
Sometimes people can criticize them for not wasting time.
Yeah. That's some Klopp got really like
even with the kind of Spurs game when they went up 4-2 and they fucked it up with that corner that Llorente scored with his hand, by the way.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
but
fraudulent, by the way.
Even then, they slow the game down, make some subs. But Pep's got his philosophy, which I have to say I respect. It's still winning them shit. It's fucking winning them titles and FA Cups, and next step is the Champions League. And I will say they're. I said it last year, and honestly, before the blip against Spurs, they would have played Ajax. Let's be real, they would have been in the Champions League final. So I'm saying it again, they're favorites for next year. Early favorites for next year, especially with Rodri coming in.
Yeah, I think City is the kind of club where they only need like 1 or 2 signings because their whole core is young. And
same with Liverpool.
Which
is why I'm saying.
Here's the thing: Aguero's going to get old. Oh, they just have Jesus, who's basically the player in the tournament for Brazil.
But look at that transfer policy. It's fucking ideal. You bring in the guys who are good enough already, but will be like the descendants, so to say, fucking, I guess, like, descendants or, backups, not really, right? I'm trying to say like they bring in guys that are good enough.
Yeah. That will
not, they're good enough to play now, but they can be even better, and they'll be amazing when the main guy leaves.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, for us, we have, let's say, even let's just use a Koscielny example. Let's say for us, we would have Koscielny, but who's coming up other than Holding? Mm-hmm. Not anyone. We have a bunch of youth guys that are good, but are they good now? Are they good enough to play now? No.
Now, exactly.
For City, they had Otamendi. When he started going downhill, Laporte is there. He's ready.
John Stones is also there.
John Stones is ready for company, who just dipped for Anderlecht. So look at that policy. And now Liverpool, and again, look what they have incredible assets in which they don't, now they don't need to spend much. They spend for 1 player.
Exactly.
2 players. They're done. I said Liverpool's 1 player away from a treble. If they were in any other league, they'd be winning the treble. But because it's City, they,
Let's not forget though. Liverpool were 1 fucking 1-on-1 away from not even going to the group stage. And same thing with Spurs.
Which would have been shit, actually, thinking about it, because then we lost to the Europa League anyway. But we probably would end up playing them because we actually played Napoli, funnily enough.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, here's the thing. I think, their run to the Champions League final also helped their Premier League form as much as, some teams actually derails their form. It actually helped Liverpool because they kept on gaining momentum after momentum. By the way,
they got lucky with the draws, we will say. Bayern was tough, but Bayern's not as good as they used to be.
VAR is going to be Porto,
yeah, so they're going to finish 8th. Oh. No, but they got Porto, which was a lucky break in a quarterfinal of a Champions League.
And no one thought
and then they got their tough draw against Barca, yeah. Let's just say this was probably the worst Champions League we've seen in a long time. I don't understand these nostalgia people that are saying that this is so great. I'm sorry, but when the semifinals are Liverpool-Barca, which is an incredible game, and Spurs-Ajax, which is about as shit as it gets for football, I'm just not interested in that. Now, we got a crazy last game against second legging with Ajax and Spurs, but does anyone remember the game at the Hotspur Stadium? That was shit. Ajax won 1-0. It was fucking garbage. Garbage fucking game.
You know what I want to say? Yeah. If you watched Champions League final, obviously, that was one of the worst.
It was the worst Champions League final I've ever watched in my life.
Not even in terms of the game.
No doubt about it.
Not even in terms of the scoreline.
Atmosphere.
In terms of the atmosphere, the celebrations. In terms of the quality on the ball.
To win them,
the quality on the ball. They were hoofing the ball long to Harry Kane. What are we, prime Stoke City? You're in the Champions League final, bro. Dude. Spurs waited 75 minutes to start attacking. All their possession was in the back. What is wrong with you? There's no urgency to go to win the Champions League final. What?
I want to say this point that Origi scores to win them the Champions League with 2-0, and he just puts his arms out and just jogs to the corner. I mean, fucking Lacazette celebrated more against Liverpool when we drew the game. And don't say, that's because we're a bigger club than you. Dude, you just won the Champions League final. You just scored a goal in the Champions League final. Can we get some interesting celebrations, please? I mean, fucking the fans. Honestly, I will say the fans look like they barely cared. And this is the same problem I have.
That was because the same problem I have with the World Cup. That was ticket allocation.
Yeah, ticket allocation was shit, especially for the Europa League final.
It was 16K.
Yeah, Europa League final was even worse. 6K. But
yeah.
This is the same problem I have with the World Cup. Atmospheres were garbage. Guess who brought the best atmosphere was Peru. I'm not surprised that the best World Cup in recent history was 2014, 2010, which was not in Europe. Sorry, I'm European myself, but just the atmospheres there are a bit shit unless you go to Serbia, and we're not going to be having a fucking World Cup in Serbia anytime soon. Yeah, and we're just not going there. Even at least Russia's kind of a nice country compared to those. No offense, they're kind of
South America just brings the atmospheres.
Yeah, that Brazil, man, that shit was insane, dude.
Colombia was a really good atmosphere that year.
Yeah, and even the 0-0 game, Argentina-Holland in or Netherlands in the semifinal, that was a fucking great game to watch. Atmosphere was buzzing.
Uruguay, England was a really good game to watch because the English fans were passionate, the Uruguay fans were on the other side. That was a really fun game.
Yep, and 2014 was good because there was one kind of Cinderella story in Costa Rica.
Yeah, there was one or two. That was it.
Dude, the right side of the bracket this year was England, Sweden, Croatia, and Russia.
Yeah.
Like, come the fuck on, bro, dude. That's about as bad as it gets.
Bro, imagine like a Russia-Croatia semifinal. And then
that's all thanks to Germany. That's all thanks to Germany, because Sweden would have never been there if at least Germany had come out of that bracket right there on that side. They would have at least been there and made the semifinals.
And here's the thing, right? All you had to do was
score against South Korea.
No, here's the problem with the World Cup, though. It should be randomized, like the sides.
Yeah,
because Belgium played their B team in the last game. If they got second, they probably would have went to the final because they would have played. They would have played. They would have played Sweden, or no, they would have played Colombia. They probably would have played
Colombia. They would have won. They would have probably won that game. I'd say.
Then they would
have been a good game
Sweden,
though. Sweden and then Croatia.
Semifinal would have been Croatia, which. I mean,
so that sucks. That's stupid that you know. I mean, look at us. We were predicting the damn fucking bracket. Was I not telling you? Listen, if Poland can finish first in their group, we can get England per se, maybe Tunisia if they sneak in, and then let's say Sweden and Switzerland or something like that, and we can get them, and then Croatia. And it actually kind of ended up being true in the fact that Croatia went to the semis, which is I said that if Poland made the semis, we would be playing Croatia. If we got lucky.
Obviously
Poland was never making the semis.
Like Croatia were like a bubble semifinal team. Like we were telling them how underrated they were.
No, Argentina's gonna finish first in the group. Like they're not fucking awful at football. They have one fucking player. But it doesn't matter, man. I just think that the World Cup is all fucked up, and now we're gonna have 48 teams coming up soon.
How did we get on the World Cup? We were talking about Arsenal.
Oh no, whatever, dude. We got I'd say 8 more minutes on this because we've gone crazy and fucking crazy off here. You know what? We can actually do the second half of those questions and ask for more questions for the next one.
Yeah. I don't mind.
What we can do is each podcast, instead of having a set topic, we can just have questions. You can just ask us random football questions, especially because it's the summer. It's like, I don't want to talk about the transfer window for fucking an hour and a half.
Yeah, because
it's not really entertaining. It's kind of shit right now.
More mad, like knowing
it's just going to piss me off. Everyone is signing it, players except for us. I mean, Leo's president said that Pepe has 2 offers from big clubs. He hasn't named the clubs yet.
Did you just see Ronaldo won't face the rape charge? I just got that Bleacher Report notification.
Oh, hello.
Hold on.
Cannot be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. It's
Ronaldo just got away with it. That's literally it.
Yep.
I mean, I'll title these podcasts like what we talk about for the majority of it.
What we talk about, absolutely.
Expect us to go on tangents and talk about other shit, because
if you have anything you want to talk about, mention. Obviously, Chris will put out the tweet. Tweet him questions. You can DM us if you want a fucking long ass paragraph that may not fit into a tweet that you want us to talk about. And I'd say we can do 4 to 5 a podcast. We're gonna try and get into 2 a week now. Because August I've not got shit to do other than work.
And I have nothing to do. I just got back from a little vacation. So
And even with school, what I can do is when I'm driving home, I can record myself on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good the audio will be, but we can test it.
We'll test it one
day. Because I got an hour.
My schedule for school this year is 8 to 12 every day.
I got the same thing pretty much. Wednesday I go in 6:30 and that's it for one class.
6:30
so I got all day
night?
Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I got all day Wednesday. We'll see. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We got a lot of shit to talk about. We still have a lot of questions, but ask more.
Yeah, it was like an hour, so that's not bad.
Yeah,
That's
I think
what,
it was
that's
good.
what I told you. I said a quick hour podcast. That was
Yeah, I don't think we want to go too far because then it would start delving. Like, we got into the World Cup. If we kept going, we would have been fucking talking about tennis in a fucking hour.
Yeah, we would have been talking about other sports like the NBA Finals, like NBA free agency compared to the transfer window, like, whatever.
I think that was good though.
Right.
Fucking. Let's hope by the next podcast we can get some fucking announcements for some signings.
What I want to do is I want to record it every like 3 or 4 days and then just get it out the following day or like that night, whatever. It doesn't take me that long to edit these videos. It's just the rendering takes a long time.
So let's say next one let's do Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday will be good because Arsenal would have played today or tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and I'll be home.
And then
I'm staying overnight and then leaving Wednesday morning.
Okay, and then also United play Thursday morning, so I can kind of go into.
All right, so we'll do it. Yeah,
or Spurs.
We can do it at we can do whenever. I'll be home and I do have work, but obviously I'll be home at like 10.
All right, no problem. All right, guys, thank you guys for watching today. I appreciate it. Leave a like and comment what you guys think, and we'll be back probably in a couple of days for another podcast. Peace.